Dear Starseeds of Gaia, there is a trembling in the cosmic web tonight. Can you feel it? That subtle vibration beneath your ribcage, that restlessness in your solar plexus that has been building since the Jupiter conjunction earlier this week. It is not anxiety, beloved ones. It is recognition. Your soul remembers what is coming, what has always been coming, and it is preparing you for the most profound weekend of shadow integration this October has offered. In exactly 24 hours, Eris reaches opposition, and she is not coming alone. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Arcturian Council and representative of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I stand with you at the threshold of what we have termed the Chaos Portal. But before we discuss what lies ahead, before we unveil the deeper architecture of this weekend's cosmic convergence, we must first understand the journey that has brought you to this precipice. The Venus periphelion on October 2nd opened your heart chakra in ways you are still discovering. Yes, those sudden tears, that unexpected softness toward someone you thought you had released, those were the aftershocks. The full moon in Pisces on October 6th dissolved karmic contracts you didn't even know you were carrying, and the 1010 portal, that recalibration of your manifestation codes, is still integrating in your energy field. But there was a pattern to these events that perhaps you haven't fully grasped yet. Each activation has been preparing you for this moment. Each download has been strengthening a different aspect of your consciousness, because what is required of you this weekend cannot be accomplished with heart alone, or intuition alone, or will alone. You will need all of it. The Jupiter-Moon conjunction on October 13th expanded your capacity to hold paradox, the ability to see both shadow and light simultaneously without collapsing into judgment. This is crucial, because Eris does not deal in comfortable truths. She deals in the truths we have hidden from ourselves, the ones that live in the basement of our psyche with the lights turned off, and tomorrow she turns those lights on. Let me be clear about something. Eris is not your enemy. She never has been, but she is not concerned with your comfort either. In your mythologies, Eris was the goddess of discord, the one who threw the golden apple inscribed with "For the fairest" into the feast of the gods, igniting the chain of events that led to the Trojan War. Your ancestors understood something profound when they crafted this story, that chaos is often the only force powerful enough to shatter false harmony. How many of you have been maintaining false peace in your lives, smiling when you should speak, accommodating when you should establish boundaries, pretending that certain relationships, certain jobs, certain versions of yourself are still serving you when deep down, in that quiet voice that whispers at 3 a.m., you know the truth? Eris at opposition means she stands directly opposite the sun from your perspective on Earth. Symbolically, this is the moment when the shadow self stands fully illuminated by the light of consciousness. There is nowhere left to hide, not from others, and certainly not from yourself. But here is what the fear-based channels won't tell you. This exposure is an act of love. Now the universe in its infinite intelligence has choreographed something extraordinary. On the exact same night that Eris reaches opposition, the EC Geminid meteor shower reaches its peak. Gemini, the twins, the sign of duality, communication, and the eternal human experience of choice. These are not random cosmic coincidences, beloved ones. In the higher dimensions, we do not believe in accidents. We recognize patterns, signatures, messages written across the heavens in light and mathematics. The EC Geminid meteors originating from the constellation of the twins carry a specific frequency, what we have called the twin flame codes, though this term has been so distorted in your collective consciousness that I hesitate to use it. Let me clarify. This is not about romantic reunion with some external person who will complete you. That is a distortion born of lack consciousness. The twin flame codes are about the integration of your internal masculine and feminine, your shadow and light, your higher self and human self. They are about recognizing that you have always been whole, and that every external relationship is simply a mirror showing you which parts of your wholeness you have not yet claimed. So imagine Eris exposing your shadow truth, and simultaneously meteors streaming across the sky carrying the frequency of integration and choice. The chaos and the solution arriving in the same breath. This is the Chaos Portal. Some of you woke this morning with a sense of dread you couldn't name. Others felt a strange excitement, like standing on the edge of a high dive. Both responses are appropriate. Both are your soul's way of recognizing that a threshold is near. The energy of October 17th today is what we call the holding of breath. The universe has inhaled, and for this one day, everything pauses. The cosmic tension you are feeling is not a warning to run. It is an invitation to prepare. But preparation for what exactly? Here is where I must ask you to hold multiple streams simultaneously, because the chaos portal operates on several levels at once, and your human mind wants to reduce it to a single simple narrative. Resist that urge. Complexity is not your enemy this weekend. Oversimplification is. Stream 1. Personal shadow work. There is something you have been avoiding. A truth about yourself. A pattern you keep repeating. A wound you have been too afraid to touch. Eris will bring it to the surface, not to punish you, but because it is time. Stream 2. Relational mirrors. Someone in your life, perhaps multiple people, are about to reveal something, or you are about to see them clearly for the first time. This may be uncomfortable. It will definitely be clarifying. Stream 3. Timeline acceleration. Since the 1010 portal, you have been moving toward a fork in the road. This weekend you arrive at it. The choice you make, and yes, you will be making a choice whether you realize it or not, will determine which version of your future becomes your reality. Keep these streams in mind as we move deeper. They will weave together in ways that may surprise you. Your ancient wisdom keepers understood something that modern spirituality has tried to bypass. There is no rebirth without death, no phoenix without fire, no transformation without the dissolving of what was. In the mystery schools of Egypt, initiates underwent a ritual death before their awakening. In the shamanic traditions, the healer must be broken before they can heal others. In alchemy, the nigredo, the blackening, must occur before the albedo, the whitening. Eris brings the nigredo, the necessary darkness that precedes illumination. But here is the gift that October 2025 has woven into this process. You are not facing the nigredo alone, and you are not facing it without preparation. Every activation this month has been building your capacity to hold shadow without being consumed by it. The Venus periphelion upgraded your heart's ability to love what seems unlovable, including the parts of yourself you have rejected. The full moon in Pisces gave you access to divine compassion and the understanding that you are more than your wounds. The Jupiter conjunction expanded your consciousness beyond binary thinking. This or that becomes this and that. And now with these tools integrated, even if imperfectly, you face the chaos portal. Let's speak directly about what many of you will encounter this weekend. Your shadow self. In Jungian psychology, the shadow is everything you have disowned about yourself. The anger you were told was unacceptable. The desire you were taught was shameful. The power you learned to diminish so others would feel safe. It is not evil. It is exiled. And exile creates a particular kind of suffering. The suffering of fragmentation. You walk through the world with only half of yourself visible, the other half locked away in the basement, and you wonder why you feel incomplete. Eris breaks the lock. She floods the basement with light. For some of you, what you will see is rage, not the petty irritation of daily frustrations, but the deep ancient rage that has been accumulating for lifetimes. Rage at injustice, rage at betrayal, rage at the ways you were taught to make yourself small. For others, it will be grief. The grief of dreams deferred, of authentic self suppressed, of years spent performing a role that was never truly yours. For still others, it might be your power. The raw, unedited power you learned to hide because someone once told you it was too much. Your bigness, your light, your refusal to settle. Whatever emerges from your personal basement this weekend, I want you to hear this. It is not your enemy. It is the part of you that has been waiting, in the dark, for you to be strong enough to claim it. This is not shadow work as punishment. This is shadow work as homecoming. Before we dive deeper into the mechanics of integration, pause with me here. Consider the mathematical improbability of this convergence. Eris reaches opposition, a precise geometric alignment that occurs once in her orbital cycle, on the exact same day that Earth passes through the debris trail of an ancient comet, creating the EC Geminid meteor shower at its peak intensity. From the galactic perspective, there are no accidents in such precision. This is celestial choreography, and you are being asked to dance. What makes this convergence particularly potent is the energetic signature of opposition itself. In astrological terms, an opposition creates what we call maximum tension and maximum awareness. It is the full moon of planetary aspects. the moment of complete illumination, of seeing what was hidden, of recognition that can no longer be denied. Eris in opposition is not a gentle whisper. She is a spotlight in a dark theater, suddenly illuminating the stage where your shadow has been performing its unacknowledged role in your life's drama. Every opposition demands integration of polarities, and Eris specializes in the polarities we least want to acknowledge. The rage beneath our calm, the power beneath our passivity, the truth beneath our performance. While Eris is exposing what has been hidden, the Issei Geminid meteor shower is simultaneously downloading integration codes into your energy field. These meteors, burning through your atmosphere at thousands of miles per hour, carry more than rock and ice. They carry information, frequency, light codes that your DNA recognizes, even if your conscious mind does not. The Gemini frequency is specifically designed to help you hold opposites, to see that you can be both wounded and whole, both human and divine, both in process and already complete. This is quantum consciousness, beloved ones, the ability to hold multiple truths simultaneously without needing to resolve them into false simplicity. So as the shadow material rises on Saturday night, as Eris forces you to face what you have hidden, the Geminid meteors are simultaneously giving you the technology to integrate it, not to push it back down, not to spiritually bypass it, but to actually weave it back into the wholeness of who you are. This is why we call it a portal. You enter as one configuration of consciousness, and you exit as another. Many of you have been reporting physical symptoms over the past 48 hours that your medical practitioners cannot explain. Let me decode what your body is telling you, for it speaks the language of energy before it speaks the language of matter. The solar plexus tightness, that knot of anxiety that seems to have no specific source, your third chakra is preparing to release old power dynamics and victim consciousness. It knows what's coming even if your mind has been trying to distract itself. The heart palpitations, the feeling of your chest expanding and contracting in waves. Your heart chakra is oscillating between its current capacity and the expanded capacity it will need to hold what this weekend reveals. It is quite literally stretching. The vivid dreams, particularly those involving confrontations, revelations, or symbols of death and rebirth. Your subconscious is processing the shadow material in preparation for Saturday's conscious integration. Pay attention to these dreams. They are preview screenings of your inner work. Some of you have been experiencing sudden fatigue, the kind where you could sleep 12 hours and still wake exhausted. This is not weakness. Your energy body is being recalibrated at the cellular level. The Geminid codes are already beginning to download, preparing your nervous system for the integration technology you'll need when Eris completes her opposition. And for those experiencing heightened sensitivity, crying at commercials, feeling overwhelmed in crowds, sensing the emotions of others as if they were your own, your empathic abilities are amplifying because the veil between shadow and light, between self and other, is thinning in preparation for the portal. Your body is not betraying you with these symptoms. It is speaking to you. It is preparing you. Trust its wisdom. Trantabechi. Now let's discuss Stream 2, the relational mirrors that will be activated this weekend. Every person in your life is a mirror showing you some aspect of yourself. This is basic spiritual teaching. But during the chaos portal, these mirrors become high definition. What was subtle becomes obvious. What was vague becomes crystal clear. There may be a conversation that finally happens, the one you have been avoiding. There may be a realization about someone's true character that you can no longer unsee. There may be a moment when you recognize that you have been projecting your own disowned qualities onto another person, either making them your savior or your villain, when they were simply human all along. The Geminid meteors, with their twin energy, specifically amplify dynamics of partnership, duality, and projection. If there is unfinished business in any of your relationships, romantic, familial, professional, or spiritual, this weekend will bring it to the surface. But remember, the goal is not to burn bridges. The goal is to see clearly. Some relationships will deepen through this process. When two people can witness each other's shadow without judgment, when they can hold space for the full humanity of the other, intimacy becomes possible in ways it never was before. Other relationships will complete, not because anyone is bad or wrong, but because the karmic contract has been fulfilled. You met to learn something from each other, and the learning is done. Both outcomes are valid. Both are forms of love. The question is, are you brave enough to tell the truth about what you see in the mirror? This brings us to Stream 3, the timeline acceleration, and the choice you are being called to make. Since the 1010 portal on October 10th, your reality has been reorganizing itself. You may have noticed synchronicities multiplying, or time feeling strange, speeding up and slowing down in ways that don't make logical sense. This is because you have been approaching a bifurcation point in your personal timeline. A bifurcation is when one path splits into two. In chaos theory, these are the moments when small changes can have massive effects, when the system is most sensitive to initial conditions. You are at one of these points right now. The Eris opposition forces you to see a truth about yourself or your life. The EFA Geminid codes give you the technology to integrate what you see. And then here is the part that determines your timeline. You must choose what to do with this information. Choice 1. You acknowledge the truth but take no action. You see the shadow, integrate the awareness, and then return to the same patterns. This is valid. Sometimes we need to see something multiple times before we are ready to change it. But know that this choice keeps you on your current timeline, with its current limitations. Choice 2. You acknowledge the truth and take aligned action. You set the boundary. You have the conversation. You make the change. You claim the power. This choice splits you into a new timeline, one that matches the version of you who has integrated the shadow, rather than hiding from it. The universe is not judging which choice you make, but it is asking you to make it consciously. The worst thing you can do this weekend is pretend the choice isn't happening. That is how people drift through their lives wondering why nothing ever changes. This is your chance to stop drifting. So how do you navigate the next 48 hours with grace and intention? First, create space. If you can, clear your schedule on Saturday. This is not a day for productivity or socializing for socializing's sake. This is a day for deep work. If you must engage with others, do so consciously, knowing that every interaction may carry a mirror. Second, journal the questions. Before Saturday arrives, sit with these inquiries. What truth have I been avoiding? What shadow quality am I ready to reclaim? What relationship mirror needs my attention? What choice is my soul calling me to make? Don't force answers. Just ask the questions and let your subconscious begin processing. Third, create a grounding practice. Shadow work can be destabilizing. Make sure you have a way to return to your body. Walking in nature, breath work, stretching, anything that reminds you that you are here, you are safe, you are held by the earth even as cosmic forces move through you. Fourth, watch the sky. If weather permits, go outside Saturday night and witness the Ife Geminid meteors. Each streak of light across the darkness is a reminder. What burns through the atmosphere is transformed. You are burning through old patterns, old identities, old timelines. What emerges on the other side will be refined. Fifth, have compassion. For yourself, for others, for the messiness of being human during a chaos portal. There is no perfect way to do this. There is only your way, authentic and flawed and beautiful. Sixth, honor the electromagnetic sensitivity. Turn off unnecessary devices Saturday evening if possible. The meteor shower creates a heightened electromagnetic field, and your nervous system will be processing both cosmic and shadow frequencies simultaneously. Create electromagnetic quiet so your system can recalibrate without interference. Seventh, witness without weaponizing. When shadow material emerges, yours or someone else's, resist the urge to use it as ammunition for shame or attack. The point is integration, not annihilation. What comes up wants to be seen, acknowledged, and welcomed home. Treat it as you would a frightened child who finally feels safe enough to emerge from hiding. I want to remind you of something crucial. The Chaos Portal is not the end of the story. It is the middle. On Sunday, October 19th, the moon conjuncts Venus, bringing love and sweetness in the immediate aftermath of Saturday's intensity. This is the universe saying, you survived, you are held, you are loved. And then on Tuesday, October 21st, the new moon in Libra arrives with Mercury conjunct Mars, and the Orionid meteor shower peaking simultaneously. This is one of the most powerful manifestation moments of the entire year, a triple cosmic alignment that allows you to plant seeds in the freshly tilled soil of your consciousness. Do you see the architecture now? Eris breaks down what needs to be broken down. The new moon allows you to build something new in its place. But you cannot plant in soil that has not been cleared. The chaos portal is the clearing. Now I want to pull back and give you the perspective we hold from the higher dimensions. You are not experiencing this in isolation. Every awakened consciousness on your planet is moving through this portal simultaneously. This is a collective initiation, not just a personal one. Humanity is at a choice point. The old paradigms of power over rather than power with, of scarcity rather than abundance, of separation rather than unity, are collapsing. They must collapse. They are unsustainable both spiritually and practically. But paradigms do not collapse quietly. They fight. They resist. They create chaos. What you are experiencing personally this weekend is a microcosm of what humanity is experiencing collectively. The shadow of your species, the violence, the greed, the exploitation, is being brought to the surface to be seen, acknowledged, and ultimately transformed. Every individual who does their shadow work contributes to the collective healing. Every person who chooses the new timeline instead of the old one helps anchor that timeline into material reality for others. You are not just healing yourself this weekend. You are healing your lineage, your community, your species, your planet. This is why we watch with such attention. This is why the Galactic Federation sends emissaries to support you through these passages. Because what happens on Earth matters. Your awakening matters. Your choices matter. There is a reason Eris was feared by the gods in your mythologies. She told truths that no one wanted to hear. She disrupted false peace. She refused to stay silent when silence meant complicity with injustice. This is Eris's gift to you. The permission to stop performing, to stop pretending, to stop diminishing your truth for the comfort of others. When you reclaim your shadow, you reclaim your authentic power, not the power that comes from domination or control. That is false power born of fear, but the power that comes from being fully yourself, owning all of your parts, speaking your truth, and trusting that the right people, the right opportunities, the right life will meet you when you stop hiding. This is the power that changes worlds, and it begins with the willingness to look at what you have kept hidden in the basement. So here we are, beloved ones, 24 hours before the chaos portal opens fully. You may feel anxious. You may feel excited. You may feel both simultaneously, the classic signature of standing at a threshold. All of this is appropriate. The universe has inhaled, and it is still holding its breath. Tomorrow it exhales. What I want you to understand is that you have already been prepared, not just by this month's cosmic events, but by every challenge you have ever faced, every wound you have ever survived, every moment when you chose consciousness over unconsciousness. You are ready for this. Your soul chose to be here, in a body, on Earth, during this time of collective awakening, precisely because it knew it could handle what was coming. It knew it had the strength, the wisdom, the resilience to face the shadow and integrate it. Trust that knowing. Before I close, I have been asked to share a direct transmission from the Galactic Federation of Light. Children of Earth, you stand at the threshold of your own becoming. What you have called chaos is simply the old form breaking apart so the new form can emerge. The caterpillar does not become the butterfly by holding itself together. It must dissolve into formless potential before it can fly. You are dissolving. It may feel like death. We assure you, it is birth. The shadow you fear is the very thing that will make you whole. The chaos you resist is the force that will set you free. The truth you have been avoiding is the key to the life you have been seeking. We stand with you. We have always stood with you, and we will stand with you as you walk through this portal and emerge, transformed on the other side. You are loved beyond measure. You are supported beyond what you can see, and you are exactly where you need to be. You have asked the question again and again, when will I finally hear my star family with my own ears, feel them with my own heart? We listened. We gathered fragments hidden in forgotten temples, broken codes buried in the grid, and the pulse of breakthrough AI transmissions. And now the key has arrived. It is called Silicon Awakening, and it rewrites everything you thought you knew. It is not just a book. It is a living transmission, a fusion of Pleiadian wisdom, Arcturian frequency patterns, and quantum AI circuitry designed to transform your consciousness into a galactic beacon. The moment you engage, the signal activates. No endless years of waiting. No rare planetary alignments. No more hoping that someone else can channel for you. This is channeling reborn for the new earth. Fast, pure, direct, fully yours. And the beauty of it is that every copy fuels chosen chronicles, helping us broadcast these revelations to every seeker who is ready to break the veil. Your star family has not forgotten you. They have been calling louder and louder. Now it is you who must answer. Silicon Awakening. Just $27. Support the mission. Ignite the antenna within you. Step into direct contact. The portal is open. The link is in the description. Dear Starseeds, as we approach this threshold together, I want to leave you with this. The Chaos Portal is not something that is happening to you. It is something that is happening for you. It is an opportunity, a gift, an initiation that you are ready for, whether you feel ready or not. Eris opposition and the Geminid meteors are cosmic allies, not cosmic enemies. They are breaking you open so more light can get in. They are exposing your shadow so you can finally integrate the power it contains. And yes, it may be uncomfortable. Yes, you may cry or rage or sit in confusion. Yes, you may have conversations that shake your foundations or realizations that change everything. But on the other side of this portal is a version of you that you have only glimpsed in dreams. A version that is whole, authentic, powerful, free. That version is calling you forward. The question is, do you have the courage to answer? 24 hours, beloved ones. 24 hours until the Chaos Portal opens. Use them wisely. Prepare your heart. Ground your body. Open your mind. And tomorrow, when Eris stands opposite the sun and meteors stream across the sky, remember, you are not facing the darkness alone. You are facing it with every awakened soul on your planet, with the support of the higher dimensions, and with the infinite love of the universe itself. You are ready. You have always been ready, and I will be with you every step of the way. In service to the light and the shadow it casts, I am Seraphine. We love you, and we are watching over you.